A lot of people, they use apps as a crutch, right? Public service announcement here. It's not about the apps that you use, it's about your application. It's about what you're applying in your life, okay? It's not about downloading the hundreds of apps on your phone and making you even more frazzled. It's about actually utilizing what you already have, having that resourcefulness. Let's get it.
Yeah. I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumit Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy. I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. Welcome to the dojo. Today we're talking about application, okay? Not just any application, applications on your phone, okay? Now, I've had this bad habit of downloading the newest, coolest, trendiest app and then getting stuck on it and then having to delete it, or like downloading it and then realizing you need to pay for it and it's just a trial version, and then downloading it and then having it take up so much space that it distracts you from your regular life because of so many notifications that it sends. And I've gone into that bad pattern of just like going and scrolling on my phone and getting so distracted. And the thing about it is, it's an ongoing process, right? We learn to tinker with our devices and we learn to get a lot more acquainted with them. But as we start to do that, we also start to use our applications like a crutch. I swear to you, you've heard this before, but you know, my mindfulness app wasn't working. Oh, wow, okay. Well, you could be practicing mindfulness without the use of this app. You do know that, right? You could actually bring attention to your senses and experience that, right? You don't need a little ding, you don't need like a bell to get you started, you know what I mean? Like, it's great. Don't get me wrong, I'm not hating on apps. I'm really not. I use apps, but seriously, some of you guys are so matrix in, boxed in, caged. Your potential is caged around your phone. They call it the cell phone for a reason, right? You're in a jail cell. You're trapped. You're in prison. You're on a prison planet, in prison, glued to your phone. So actively, when I'm in conversation with a client or something, I make sure that I tuck my phone away or like keep the phone screen down, right? Consciously. Now, sometimes there will be moments where it buzzes or something like this. However, at the same time, it's under your agency, which makes it powerful. When it stops being under your control, your phone, that's when it starts to become a problem, okay? Like, it sends you a little notification that, hey, come back to this game that you were playing. You only collected 50 points, you can get 100 points. Oh, wow, right? That little hit of like, oh, there's a reward in place. But even if it's an invisible reward, we still get trapped. You see, you want to create a buffet of options to play with in your life, right? And obviously you want to find the deepest meaning in that by combining them, right? A combinatory protocol where you take all of these different options and you actually tinker with them and refine them and you start to solve a problem, right? I would tell people who are searching for meaning in life to first of all focus on solving problems, okay? Solve problems globally, solve problems locally, solve problems individually. If you become a problem solver, you don't even need to pick a major, bro. You know what I mean? You just need to step into the ring of solving that major issue. And the reason why I went into positive psychology was because I noticed the negativity of the planet, and I noticed this is a problem. But by focusing on the negativity, by focusing on the deficits and how I'm broken and I need fixing and I need healing and I need all these things, takes away from the fact that you are already an incredible individual. You have all these experiences. You're a powerful manifester in being, right? It takes away from all those facts. So when I went in to pick my major in university, not in college, well, college was like again, it was like that buffet of options in a sense where I was in a liberal arts college, right? You want to find simple, safe, appropriate ways to access peak states. And if you can stack those, you have more opportunity for those grand peak states. But we have to work out the kinks of our human body and our human mind. We have to understand it. You know, like let's say the example of sex, right? Evolution kind of like just made us do this without an instruction manual on how to do it, right? Human beings just knew.
Alright, I got this pointy thing like down here, and she's got no pointy thing, and so I don't know, let's just play.
That understanding is phenomenal to me, and the fact that watching pornography takes our agency away because our body thinks that it's actually having sex, but it's not, right? It's another application where it's taking away your application. Ooh, we need to be more aware of this factor, right? We need to just become conscious of when it's happening. Because it's almost like surrendering to being a zombie, to being on autopilot. Something so beautiful and pristine as sex can be poisoned and toxic and tragic and sad and misguided and sporadic, rather than the charging of energy, the circulation, right? We need to circulate our sexual energy throughout our bodies, guys. When we're circulating that sexual charge, that prana throughout our bodies, into our hearts, into our brains, as it's buzzing, we access those peak states. It's a subtle process, right? It's not this double click mentality of everything's a click away. It's the tiny bit of challenge and fun and pressure that moves you into more of a fulfillment because you're investing in the moment. A lot of people, if they're scrolling, they're done, right? It's like that dude who's trying to take like a video of the moon, right? And it's super blurry and grainy quality, and he's trying to zoom in, and he's trying to zoom in, and he's like,
Oh man, I hope I can get the craters really good.
or whatever, right? He's using like a flip phone camera. And he's trying to zoom in, and you know, it's really pixelated and grainy, and he's like, oh, this is so cool. But his eyes, the greatest cameras in the world, he's not accessing those and feeling the reverence of the moment to see the shooting star that he just missed. This is the reality we're living in. We've become zoo animals, and we need to be wild animals. We are caged. We are caged in these boxes, and you know it. And if you're denying the fact that you're caged in these boxes, I'm pretty safe in this box. You're allowed to go around places. You're allowed to explore. At the same time, understand that if you've claimed that space and you own that space and you optimize that space, it is definitely yours. I can't argue with you on that. That is your sacred space, and you've created it and optimized it for your flow lifestyle. If you're moving, if you're staying alert, if you're breathing, your respiratory system is good. If you just change your respiratory pattern, man, you can change your state of consciousness. Like, that's just fascinating to me. And you start listening to your favorite tune, and it's challenging and fun, and then you just rinse and repeat. You get into the music with the body and the gestures and the movements. Oh my goodness! Goodness gracious! Try doing some silly shit like that today. Really though, because you haven't accessed that energy in a while. Perhaps you have. Maybe some of you have. But who in their right mind is going to maintain a peak state by going, oh my goodness? Basically, you want to dumb down your smartphone. Reclaim your mind share, your hive mind, I call it, because you are connected to this hive mind on your phone, right? You're connected to people, places, things, objects, symbols. You're connected all through your phone. And if you reclaim your mind space, your mind share, and all you have on your phone is like just this understanding of the major apps that you need, right? Maybe Google Maps, maybe music, maybe, you know, Audible, whatever you need that is essential for you, right? Some people are like, oh, but my phone is on my clock. Get a clock then, man. Like, why are you relying on your phone for everything? Get yourself a nice watch. I definitely know some of you are watching this video and you're on your phones. Straight up. You're on your laptop watching this video, you're listening to me, but literally you're taking the counterproductive actions that I'm telling you in this video, right? I know some of you out there doing that right now.
Turn that shit off.
And the thing is, we like this idea of winging it. I love the idea of winging it. You know, flow state is winging it in a sense, but it's amplified winging it, right? It's like you created a structure based on winging it, okay? So yes, you have wings, but don't flap them trepidously and then just go and smack against a glass fence or something, right? Glass fence? I don't even know if that's a thing. But you know what I mean, right? Like these birds, they just knock into walls because they think that, oh, there's something fluttering, but it's their own reflection they're crashing into. So that's what's happening, right? Our own reflections. We're scared of our own reflections and we think that it's an enemy. And we get smacked like that bird onto the glass door or the glass screen. And these screens, what is screening? Tell me, somebody in the comments, what is screening? Somebody screens you. They're checking. So these screens are constantly checking you. Ooh, okay, I'm dropping some nuggets here because I feel that this momentum is very, very aligned. I'm here to provide you some service. What makes a genius? Tell me this, somebody tell me this. First of all, they haven't lost their innocence. They've had that childlike quality to get unconscious a little bit and let go. And that ability to be imaginative. Their mind is constantly thinking of cool, goofy, fun ideas. The artist is the child who survived, who never grew up, right? Second, what makes a genius? A genius is somebody who's mastered their craft in one specific niche arena. However, there are also polymaths who are considered geniuses because, again, the combinatory protocols, as I was mentioning, the buffet of options that they've taken and squished them all together, that's genius. You have this ability to do that. You take two seemingly random things and you just splash them together and you're like, oh no, not this one, right? You're not actually swiping on an app, you're swiping in real life in your own mind. That's the difference, right? You're going, not this. That's how my mind looks, actually. It's like this giant hologram screen where I'm swiping away. And it's like, I think this is probably going to be an AI invention or something in the future where we have these like touch screen things where we can just go, not this, 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 right? And we just use these giant TVs to organize and map our time and things like this. But I already do that in my own consciousness. I'm not attached to like that product. So if that product comes out in like 2032 or whatever, like I'm not gonna be like, oh my goodness. Right? And everybody wants you to play into this fantasy of like, hey, check out my phone. Oh, your phone does that. Well, mine has extended battery life. And, you know, it's like this competition model, right? Of like Pepsi and Coke. The thing about it is you have to be your own phone, straight up. Ring and vibrate at the frequency that you desire and deserve. A lot of us feel like we don't deserve it, right? We're like, oh, I don't deserve that. Well, because you don't feel like you deserve it because you haven't put in the time and energy to actually receive it, right? And if you put in the time and energy to receive it and you still don't feel like you deserve it, that's a limiting belief. That's like something you've got to work on, right? In a sense, a lot of people are being lazy, complacent, and then they start to complain that nothing's ever going my way and why aren't things happening for me? Because you aren't making things happen. You've got to actually apply what you know. And that's my rant. I'm done. I hope this helped you out today. Have an incredible day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary. Let's get it today. Upward Spiral Gang. You already know what it is. Upward Spiral Gang Gang.